Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. What you're looking at is the second project for National Crochet Month, and it's by Red Heart, pattern LW4079. You will need Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable. You can use any color of that you would like. I am going to be using the color let's see, which one is this one I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using what's called Parrot, and I will show you that again here in just a few minutes. You will need one ball. You'll also need a 4.25 millimeter hook. I will be using a 4.5 millimeter, and you can use a bigger one, a smaller one, whichever you choose, but understand it will change the size of this actual project. You will actually need just one ball of this yarn, and we will also be making the flower that goes to this project. So this is a beautiful cowl, and I think you will enjoy making this. The measurements are going to be 7 by 30, and the special stitches used for this is going to be a V-stitch. Okay, so it is labeled as an easy project, so gather your materials, pull this pattern up on the redheart.com website or whatever device you use, and please follow along with me. So gather everything you need, and we will get busy on our second project of March. See you in a minute. Guys, I'm back with you. This is my color scheme. It is Parrot, as I was saying. This is by Red Heart. It is Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable, and the pattern actually calls for cappuccino color, but the color choice is yours. And the sleeve here actually calls for a 4.5, which is what I'm using, but the pattern calls for 4.25, so it's your choice. Just understand the size will vary just a little, not much, so it's up to you whatever size hook you use. So this is my color, so we are going to get started. So now the first thing that you need to do is to chain up 9, and you don't have to do these super tight. Working with this yarn always leaves a little bit of gap anyways. So chain up 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Alright, so that's row 1, or that's your foundation chain. Row 1, you want to single crochet in the second from the chain, and in each stitch across. So that's going to give you 8 stitches at the end of this row. You started off with 9, but since you started off in the second chain from the hook, that gives you 8 finishing stitches. Okay, so you do need to keep up with your stitch count with this project, at least in the beginning. So that's row 1. So now you want to turn. Row 2 is the same. You want to chain up 1 and single crochet in each, so you will have 8 on this row as well. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and you turn. Now row 3, you want to chain up 1, and this time you're going to do a little bit of increasing. So you want to do 2 stitches in each stitch, so that means you're going to double your stitch count. You have 8 now, you're going to end up with 16 on this row. So 2 in each. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And that's going to curve on you a little bit, and that's what it's supposed to do. Okay, so now row 4, you're going to turn, and you're just going to chain up 1, and you're just going to simply single crochet across for 16 stitches. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay? And now row 5, we are going to turn and repeat round 3. So you're going to chain 1 and you're going to increase in each stitch, so that means 2 in each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30, 31, and 32 is what you should end up with at the end of round 5. And I will be back and we will do round 6. Okay guys, so we are ready for round 6, so let's turn and chain up 1, and it says to do 2 single crochet in the first, so there's 1 and 2, and then we're going to do a single crochet in each across. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. Okay? And then you're going to turn, and row 7 says now to chain up 4, And this is going to count as a double crochet and chain 1 here and throughout the pattern. So now you're going to double crochet in the first stitch, which is the stitch that you're in. Okay, and you're going to skip the next 3 stitches, so 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to do a shell in the next stitch. Okay, so their meaning of a shell is to do 5 double crochet in that next stitch. Okay, so you're going to do 5 double crochet in that next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then you're going to skip 3, so 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to do a V-stitch in the next stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in the same stitch. Alright, and you're going to repeat that, so you're going to skip the next 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do that shell again, so 1, 2, 3. You're going to do 5 double crochet in the next, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you're going to skip 3, and then you'll do a V-stitch. So that's going to be a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet back into that same stitch. Alright, so you'll do that again. So skip 3, and then you will put a shell, which is 5 double crochet again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip 3, and then do your V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Skip 3, do your shell. So 5 double crochet into that stitch. That's 3, 4, and 5. And then you're going to skip 3, and then in that last stitch you're going to do your V-stitch. So do your double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet into that last stitch. And this is what you're going to have at the end of row 7. So you're going to have 4 V-stitches and 4 shells. So you're going to have a total of 9 altogether. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And actually, they're not counting this beginning one here, but they are counting the end one, okay? Alright, so I will be right back and we will start row 8. Alright guys, let's start off row 8 with a chain 3. And this is going to act as our first double crochet. Now what you're going to do is continue with 2 double crochet into this chain 1 space. Okay, so 1 and 2. These 3 double crochet are going to act as half of a shell. Like this right here is a shell made, but it consists of 5 double crochet. They're letting this 3 double crochet act as like a half of a shell here on the end, okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to skip the next 3 doubles. So that means you're going to skip this one, and this one, and then you're going to go into the top of that middle one and do your V-stitch, okay? So double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Then you're going to go all the way to the next chain 1 space, which is going to be right in the center of that V-stitch. And then you're going to do your shell, which is your 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to repeat that. So you're going to skip the next 3 doubles. So you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and then you're just going to go into the top of that center one for your V-stitch. Okay, so what you're doing is alternating. Down here where you had your cluster, now over the top of that is going to be the V-stitch, and vice versa. So now jump over into that chain 1 space of that V-stitch from that previous row and do your cluster of 5 doubles. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So jump to that center double crochet now of that next cluster and do that V-stitch. Okay, and now jump to the center of that V-stitch and do your cluster. So you're putting 5 doubles here. So you're just alternating. Okay, so go to that top of that center of that double crochet there and do your V-stitch. Okay, and now in that last one you're going to do 3 double crochet in that last chain 1 space like we did the beginning. Okay, so go into that between those 2 double crochet there at the end and do 3 doubles. Okay, and then you'll turn, and then this is what you're going to have so far at the end of round 8. Alright guys, row 9, we are going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to do a double crochet right into this same stitch, and now you're going to do a shell in the next chain 1 space. Okay, so in the next chain 1 space, which is going to be right into that V-stitch, you are going to do 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you're going to skip the next 3. So 1, 2, 3, and it's the same process. You're going to do your V-stitch. And you're just going to repeat this. So you're going to jump to your next V-stitch in the center and do your 5 doubles. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now jump to that center double crochet here of this next group and do your V-stitch. Now jump to the center of that next V-stitch and do your 5 doubles. There's 4 and there's 5. Alright, now jump to the next cluster and go to that top of that center one for your next V-stitch. My colors are looking like a watermelon. Okay, and go to the center of that V-stitch for your next set of 5 double crochet. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and now what you're going to do here is you are going to in the last, let me see, you're going to do a V-stitch just like we did here into the very last 2 double crochet in that space, okay? So then you're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, and then a double crochet, okay? So then now this is what you're going to have at the end of row 9. Alright guys, so now for round 10, actually rounds 10 through 56, what you're going to do is you're going to repeat rows 8 and 9, which are these 2 rows that we just did. You're going to go back up to row 8 and you're going to chain 3. Okay, and what you're just going to do is you're just going to put your stitch marker at the beginning of row 8, because you're going to then work until row 56, and you're going to go alternate rows 8 and row 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, and you're just going to do that until you get to row 56, okay? So basically what the pattern says is it's going to be a total of 23 rows additional on top of this. So you're going to go working from row 11 to row 56, and you're going to repeat rows 8 and 9, okay? So put your stitch marker here and just do this process. Go back to row 8, then work 9, work 8, and work 9 up until you get to where you can count to row 56, okay? So you're going to put your stitch marker here and do that until you get to row 56. You can calculate it that way, or you can count from row 11 to row 20 until you have 23, have done that 23 times, okay? So read your pattern. It is in the pattern. If you don't quite understand what I'm saying, just read over the pattern. It is there. Sometimes you understand it better if you're reading it. And once I have that part completed myself, I will come back and join you. It's nothing different than what we just did here. You're just going to repeat these last 2 rows until you have gotten to row 56. Right now you're at 10. You're going to go to row 56. Okay? So once I get there, I will rejoin you, and then we will repeat row 8 once more, and then we will go to row 57. So I will rejoin you at row 56. Alright guys, now once we have done rows 10 through 56, which was exactly the same stitch, just alternating the 2 rows, which was rows 8 and 9. So now you will end up on row 8, okay? So now basically row 57, all you're going to do for row 57 is you're just going to basically do a chain 1 at this point, and you're going to single crochet in each double and in each chain 1. Okay, so we're just making a single crochet row. Okay, so now you'll just go across and single crochet in the top of each double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Okay, and that's just going to bind this row together. So you're just going to work this right across and in the tops of each one of these stitches, and chain 1 spaces also, so don't forget those. And I know yours has turned out beautiful. And this project is nearly complete. So now what we have to do is basically match this end up with the first end, or the beginning end. So we are going to start our decreasing process. Okay, so we're on our last few here. And make sure you get it in that top of that last double crochet. And of course I got to get that knot out there. There we go. So get it in that top of that last double crochet, which is also going to be that turning chain. Okay, so now row 58 you are going to turn and you're going to chain 1. Now you're going to single crochet 2 together over the next or the first 2 stitches. So you're going to go into that first stitch and pull a loop up and go into that second stitch, pull your loop up, and then yarn over and pull that yarn through both of those, all 3 of those loops on your hook, okay? Then you're just going to single crochet across the rest of these. And if you aren't familiar with crocheting stitches together or decreasing, you need to go back to my videos on how to do decreasing and learn to do that process first. So just single crochet across, and all you simply did was take away a stitch on each end. So this is where we're going to start making this end shorter as far as the width goes. It's not going to be as wide. We're going to start shortening our length up, or not our length, but our width up. So you want to do that on this other end as well. You want to match up the ends. So when you get to the last 2 stitches, okay, let's see, take that out. Oh, that one's right. So you're going to do the last 2, so it's going to be this one and this one, and then you're going to bring them together. So now you should have a total of 32 stitches. I will count my stitches and I'll be back and we will do round 59.